Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
Welcome to Demasked. Today is the first episode of 2025, and today I'm joined once more by the returning guest, amateur animator. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's the holiday season really made me a lot more busy than I anticipated, and I'm glad to finally kind of be back on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the last time I voiced something for you was, I believe, the closing words for Mr. Teacher Guy, and I've been wondering, what have you been working on since then for the people at home?
So after all of that, that was when I was finishing mini animation, and I've continued to work on my other series, Electric Power and Drugs, Crimes, and Other Stuff. I am currently finishing the final season for both of those, and I am in the beginning stages of my next series.
Is that from what I'm seeing here, it's a Clouder of Cats?
Yes.
And what is that Clatter of Cats about?
Trying to figure out a way to word this without like giving away too much of what I have planned for it, but it's my attempt at writing a kid-friendly series.
Okay.
For the challenge of doing it, seeing if I could make a kid-friendly show well, and it's this an amalgamation of a bunch of different ideas I had for what could be my next series. Basically it's about all these cats. These are based off of like drawings and characters I've made in the past. They have all these like very like simple, like basic names: positive cat, knowledge cat, explorer cat, negative cat. And they live in a society just filled with cats, where you're expected to you're expected to act the way what your name is. Like if whatever your name is, that's how people expect you to be. And when you stray away from that, people look at you funny and they don't like that. And it's basically about kind of like over time getting like letting go of like this need to just be restricted to just this one way, when most people would be happy being expressive in multiple ways.
Okay. So sort of the characters learning to like open themselves up to be more.
Yes. Like just because your name is Positive Cat doesn't mean on a terrible day you have to put on a smile. Just sometimes everyone's gonna have a bad day where you just need to just curl up in bed and cry. And and if you need that, you need that. And just because everyone expects you to be positive all the time, that's a very unhealthy way of a very unhealthy expectation for people to have on you. And that's kind of the theme of what I'm going for. Not everything. I don't want to get into all of the details. I like to keep a lot of the my long-term plans for a series to myself, but you kind of get an idea.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. That's a really interesting idea. I really like that idea. And then, so I see you're on for Drugs, Crimes, and Other Stuff, season 4. I see you're on episode 13. Has that series already wrapped up? Is there more to come?
Season 4 is finished. I have one more season of 13 episodes, and I plan on having that come out later this year. It just depends. I've been working nonstop, before Christmas and a week after Christmas. I've been spending all of my time working on Electric Power because I'm really trying to get those two series wrapped and finished in 2025. So 2026 can be the year of the new series.
Gotcha. Is that what your most recent update video is? I've been, like I said, I've been super busy. I haven't had the chance to catch up.
I think I explained some of that in my most recent video. I make my most recent video is just me going over like the previous year and all of that. I honestly can't remember exactly what I said in there, but I'll probably explain some of it. But yeah, season 5 of Drugs, Crimes, and Other Stuff, and season 6 of Electric Power is what's coming out hopefully this year, and that'll be the end of both of those series.
Okay. And then do you plan to just sort of transition more into Clatter of Cats and other projects?
Yes. When once those are finished, like completely finished, I'm done with them. I don't have to do anything else with them. I'm going straight to working on Clatter of Cats because I don't know if you've seen like any of the some clips of it or not, but there's more effort put into it. I've always made my series in a way where they're kind of simple and they're like no effort into it, but they are simple. And I did that so I could make them in a faster rate. Because when I first started this, I was still in school, so I needed to like do it in a way where I could make them fairly fast, quote unquote, while also like focusing on school and stuff. And then I got a job, so I had to balance my job while also doing this, while also doing all of life, the stuff that life throws at you. But I just made the decision, instead of doing like 2 or 3 series at once, I'm gonna do one at a time. And instead of like spending like 1.5 weeks on an episode, I'm gonna spend like 3 or 4 weeks on one episode.
Gotcha. Okay, so sort of a more, well, you mentioned higher effort and putting more time down. And I gotta say, I really like the design of Clatter Cats. I really like how it's looking.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I spent like a lot of time trying to make sure I got what I needed to have for it to like look more fluent.
Nice. Now, outside of Clatter of Cats and, final seasons of current running shows, do you have anything else in the mix? With, of course, without giving too much away.
I have ideas for videos. I just don't know when I'll make them. I like to have video. I don't like videos coming out while a season is airing, but I like to have them as like stuff to watch while I'm working on it, like one video a month usually. I haven't, as you can probably look at my channel, I haven't really stuck to that, but that's usually what my idea is when I make other videos that are not animated. I have a couple. Like I made a video about lost wave music. I don't know if you know what lost wave music is, but that's something I'm very into now. So I'll make stuff like that. I want to talk about shows some. Like I've been watching. I don't know if you ever seen the Owl House. That's something I really want to make a video about because I'm like really passionate about it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just how much time it takes to make the animations. Spending time working on other stuff. It's like should I do it or should I just focus on what I'm working on now? I do got a video coming out I think tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Just going over my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. So that'll be something that's not animated to look forward to.
Oh, you say your 10-year anniversary is coming up?
Oh, yeah. I haven't been doing animation all of that time, but I have somewhat consistently been doing YouTube videos for 10 years, even though my first couple years aren't anything that will send you in awe.
Gotcha. It just occurred to me like, oh, I don't know how long I've been on YouTube for. Oh,
yeah,
no.
My first video was February 1st, 2015.
Let me take a look. Oh, I'm close. I'm right behind you, actually.
Oh, yeah, when's yours?
September 29th, 2016.
You're not that far away. Yeah, I was 14 when I started doing all of this.
Let's see, I was... I was 20. Huh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on all of my journey because I think the video's like 15 minutes and I scripted it all to make sure I didn't ramble any. I go over everything. It's been an interesting journey on YouTube, and I would say the real chapter, like the important parts of my YouTube channel started in 2018. That's when I started Electric Power, after coming to a realization that the original animated series I made were like hot garbage and not worth anyone's time. And I was like, wait a minute, can I do better than that? I think I can. So when I lost everything on my computer at one point, that was the moment where I was like, you know what, I can do better. So I started like Electric Power in 2018, remade mini animation in 2019, which was the only one of the only. Sorry, I sometimes I cannot articulate words well. Mini animation was one of the 3 original animated series that I would say weren't good. And I was like, I want to remake it. So in 2019 I remade that, and then in 2020 I made Drugs, Crimes, and stuff. So 2018 is like the real start of my channel. So it's still been even then, that's still been a long time.
I mean, you started with more planning than I did, because I was doing gameplay videos. Well, I mean, I'd like to start doing those again, but I was doing gameplay videos with 0 editing and just sending them out.
Yeah, I didn't have a game plan really. I mentioned this in the video, but it was like me trying to replicate what PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye did. That was my original like motivation for doing YouTube, as is most people, young people who would do YouTube, it's something like that. And then it was sometime within like the first like year and a half of me doing YouTube, when I was like, I want to do animation because I like watch Futurama and really like their animation. But like it sucked. I mean, like, I'm not going to even like try to like say anything else. It's not good, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. Say it's a learning curve. It's a hill to climb.
Well, so like I've told a couple people this. Talking about Clouder of Cats. I've written the first 5 episodes so far, and I'm really proud of what I've gotten down. It's like I thought it out a lot, like months and months of planning it out before settling on that being what I was going to work on next. The animation looks well. I've learned a lot over the 7 years, and like if I hadn't like sucked ass at first, I mean I don't know. It's the same with like drawing. You're probably going to suck if you start off when you're starting off something. Like you're not going to be a 5-star chef on your first attempt at cooking. I know it's not the exact same, but you get where I'm coming from with this. And like I don't like hate those series. I'm not like this, like I don't look back at them with disdain or hatred, because if I hadn't had those like 7 years of working on animations, I wouldn't have learned what I needed to make something like Cloud of Cats, which is, I think it's strong. I think it has a lot of potential.
Where do you see it going from here? Like in terms of, like, you have your plan for Clatter of Cats and other, video types in mind. Do you see yourself, because you mentioned doing sort of more video essay types, do you sort of see yourself doing an amalgamation of animation and those essays, or sort of kind of going back and forth?
If I do any like essay videos, like talking about shows or movies I already like, they'll probably be like 10 to 20 minute videos of me just like talking briefly about something I like, with like kind of basic editings to make it so I can like making it within like 5 days, like 3 or 5 days, and have that put on my channel, because I really don't want too much time. What I want to do with Cloud of Cats is have 1 10-episode season every year. And I don't know. I haven't really been able to sit down and like actually figure out how long 1 season would take yet, because I haven't really sat on working. So it'll just be a matter of like seeing how things go.
I get you. And you mentioned covering like the Owl House. What other avenues would you explore when it comes to like video essays? Like, would you mainly do shows, or kind of branch away into movies, or even like reviewing video games?
I could do movies. I'm a real big fan of movies. I watch like the Lord of the Rings trilogy at least once a year. I really like Back to the Future. I'm currently trying to watch every single like theatrical release of the Disney movies. And I also I usually keep a ranking of everything I'm watching. So like I haven't seen a whole lot, but I've seen like 12 of the Disney movies so far, and I have them ranked from worst to best.
Okay.
So one day I'd probably make a video like that, going over like the ranking, going over something like The Owl House, Gravity Falls, BoJack Horseman, Breaking Bad, shows I'm just like really invested in and like super like addicted to. Video games, I don't know about video games. Just like the Dark Souls games, I might could do something about. Or like the only game I'm like really into is the second Portal game. But I don't really know what I could bring to the table that hasn't been talked about with that game. I just really like it, but there's nothing I could bring new to Portal.
I got you. Now you said a movie that tickled my brain because I actually went and watched not only the original 3 movies but the subsequent follow-up Lord of the Rings. I sat down and watched all of them, and then sat down and watched The Hobbit, and I haven't seen The Hobbit before.
I actually just watched those movies. I think they're good. I know a lot of people hate them, and I can kind of understand it. I think they're flawed but good, which is definitely a step down from like a near perfect trilogy from like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Now, do you have a favorite Lord of the Rings movie?
Return of the King. And that's not only my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, that's my favorite movie.
Huh. Good
Very
pick.
Oh yeah, very close race between that and Back to the Future. Every now and then I'll go back and forth, but I think Lord of the Rings, Return of the King is my favorite.
See, Back to the Future is an interesting one because I treat all 3 movies like it's one long movie.
I think I think the difference between that and Back to the Future and Lord of the Rings is the first Back to the Future holds up with Lord of the Rings. I just don't think like the third Back to the Future is great. And so is the second one, but the second one is way lower on my like list of movies. Like from if I was ranking them, it's way lower compared to all the other ones. So I still like Lord of the Rings as the trilogy overall way better. It's not even a competition, but when it comes to Return of the King and Back to the Future, those are like neck and neck for which one should deserve the first place of all, like the best movie of all time.
I get you. Do you have a favorite Lord of the Rings character?
It's either, I don't know. I really like Aragorn.
Okay.
It's either him or Gandalf.
Mine's Boromir.
I like him. I like all of them. If I had to pick, it would be Aragorn, Gandalf, Sam would be for number 3, Gollum would be number 4, and Frodo would be number 5. That would be like the big ones. Those are my favorites.
I gotcha. I'm a sucker for like a tragic character,
Oh yeah.
and so like Boromir fits that so well.
Oh yeah, I really liked him. I remember like not liking him when I watched it when I was like 10.
Yeah.
And then he died. And I was like, what? I don't like this guy at all. But then like I watched it, like when I finally rewatched it when I was like 16, I was like, no, this guy's cool. I like this guy. And he's Sean Bean. So you should have seen it coming.
Well, there's a line in Fellowship that always sticks with me, and it's a simple one, but it's when he gets the ring in his hands and he's looking at it and he says, all this suffering over such a small thing.
It's so good. I love those movies so much. I'm the kind of person, if you really get me talking about a movie, you better be prepared because I'm going to be talking about it a lot.
Dude, I grew up with, surprisingly didn't grow up with Lord of the Rings, but I did grow up with Back to the Future. And like I said, I treat the movies as if they're one long movie because I usually don't just watch one. I have to watch all 3 back to back.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. I'm actually when it comes to like you said, you grow up with Back to the Future. I'm actually the opposite. I've grown up with Lord of the Rings. I've known them for pretty much all my life. I didn't watch Back to the Future until like 2020.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching it. I I just picked it up at like a $5 bin at some store. And when my friend came over, we were trying to figure out what movie we were going to watch, and I gave her like 3 options, and she picked that one. So that was, honestly, if she hadn't picked it, there might be a good chance I wouldn't have seen all the movies yet. I probably would have eventually, because I'm like, if a movie's like widely acclaimed, like Back to the Future, I'm definitely gonna be more like if I'm looking at like all the movies I picked up from thrift stores that I haven't watched yet, I'm gonna pick Back to the Future before I pick something like Twilight.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from.
No offense to Twilight fans. I know there's a lot of people who love Twilight. I finally watched the first one, and it was entertaining, but it was like a garbage movie overall. Like, it was so stupid. And I'm trying to stay safe. So I really do apologize to the Twilight fans. I say if you like it, I'm really happy for you. That's just my opinion. It's just a theory.
If you like Twilight, I hate you, says amateur animator. No,
I know.
But no, so I read all the Twilight books because I kept thinking that those books were going to go places that they just didn't.
I never read. I'm so behind on books. I just don't read a whole lot. It's not because I don't want to. I need Audible. I just need internet so I can finally use the Audible properly.
Well, I like as a kid, I was sort of like forced to read books. So like I've read the entire Harry Potter series, despite not really liking Harry Potter.
I read when I was a kid. I definitely read because I didn't have internet until I was like 14, which was like a year before I started YouTube. And so I would read a lot more back then. I remember I read a lot of the Junie B. Jones books. I read a book called Bridge to Terabithia, which was a really good one from what I remember. And I know I read more than that. I read some books. I can't remember what they're called, but it was about it was a series based on a school. And the one I remember was about this one like gangster kid from school, and he had like steel boots and then like he like tried breaking into the main character's house and he got hit by a bat. That's all I remember about the book. But it's been like almost 2 decades since I read that book. No, not 2 decades. I'm sorry. It's been like 15 years since I read that book because it was like in like middle school.
Yeah.
And I still vividly remember parts of that book. I just can't remember what the name of it is. Someone might.
I feel like I'm like, so I was recommended a bunch of different types of books growing up, but I was that sort of kid where it's like, oh, if my parents like it, it must be dumb, you know?
I get that.
And what my mom had recommended to me, like throughout my entire teenage years, were Stephen King novels.
I have never read a Stephen King book.
You know what? I recommend it. I sat down. I started. So I'm a sucker for connected like universes.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like stories that kind of go into it, like follow up with each other, and the Dark Tower series is sort of a focal point that goes out to all the other Stephen King stories.
I've heard that they were all like connected in some way, which is kind of cool. I have no doubt that the Stephen King books are like overall good. It's just a matter of like not having the time. If I ever get Audible, they're like up there on my. It's like them, and it's like the original Lord of the Rings books, and it's the Game of Thrones book. So eventually, I'm going to listen to a Stephen King book.
What was the? There's a It's related to Lord of the Rings, but it's not the main series. It's not like Fellowship, Return of the King, or anything like that, and it's not The Hobbit, but it's another one that's like it's a almost like a lore book.
I'm not sure. I can't think of what you're talking about.
That's gonna drive me nuts. What?
I'm the kind of person, if I can't think of something, I'm going to go insane trying to think about it.
The Silmarillion. There we go.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I'm not sure what's in the book. All I know is I've been told I should read it, and that's enough to push me down that path.
I might check that one. If it's related to Lord of the Rings, I'll probably enjoy it.
Ow. I like have. Would you ever make a animation based on like high fantasy, like wizards, dragons, that sort of thing?
I might. I've made a decision that if I don't like grow enough where I can do it for a living after Cloud of the Cats will be my final series. But I got plenty of ideas stored up that I think it could work. And one day I would really like to do one day is recreate one of my original series. If I can do this for like several more decades, I would like to recreate both of my original series that I just kind of stopped working on. And one of them was like this kind of like fantasy. Like I did not do anything. It was supposed to be fantasy, but I really didn't go as far as I could have with it. It was like I said, these weren't good. But I think this one has potential. It was about like an ancient demon. They had to stop him. It's not something that's not like the most original idea, but if that's something I would like to recreate one day. And I have a lot of ideas on how I would do it. So if I ever do something fantasy, it'll be a recreation of that original story, and just like expand it on way more than I did when I first made it.
Gotcha.
But that's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you mentioned Clatter of Cats potentially being your last series.
It just depends on like how like I'm hoping that I get enough growth where I can kind of like sustain like doing YouTube for like the long run. But even if Cloud of the Cats is my last one, that'll still be like years and years of me doing YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just like it takes a lot of time, and like eventually I would if this can't be like something, I would like YouTube to be my full-time job eventually. Because I have so many ideas I think could work, and I'm at this point where like after 7 years of growth, I think I can make a pretty good story. My ideas have gotten better. My ability to write characters has gotten better. So, fingers crossed I'll be able to do it way longer than just Cloud of the Cats. But I'm fingers crossed. That's all I gotta say. You just never know what the future's gonna hold.
Yeah. Well, my question being like, so say this does take off, like it, skyrocket to the heavens sort of thing. Would you keep doing these animations like by yourself, or would you start to like hire a team?
The animation and the editing will always, and the writing will always be 100% me. I might get like co-writers one day, but I would like to have like a group of people to do like the voices, and like for them to like be able to like know like, hey, we're about to start working with Garrett McKinney. Can you can we do this without like worrying about like our like I just want like to have like that kind of team, like a team of voice actors who can come to me, do stuff for me, and know that they'll be compensated for it. Because
Gotcha.
I'm really making sure. I really want to make sure like everyone who does the voices for this new series is like really really good. I want like they're like really great people, and so far from the people I do got on there, everyone's great. And I just want like I also just want everyone to sound high quality. I'm really trying my best to make this as good as possible, and I really want like I'm still trying to like I'm starting to get to the point where I want from going. Okay, let me calm down a little bit. I would like going forward when I'm working on new series to just compensate people who are coming like doing this and coming back next season and the next season. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for like people like helping me out. Yeah. Like if back in like 2020 when I got so much help from so many people, I probably wouldn't be in this situation where I am now if I didn't get that. and I will always appreciate that. But I really want to like going forward just to like compensate people more often. So that's why I'm saying if Cloud of Cats isn't doesn't get me to that point where I can like kind of like run this as a business, or I can like pay people properly, I think it'll be my last one.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. And like, and say, somehow, some way this gets even larger, would you just have, like, I guess the term would be on staff, like, preset team of voice actors that you can just consistently call upon?
Yeah. Yeah, I can I would like to have like just like a group of people who are like, hey everyone, and we got a job, and anyone interested, and like I know I can like always rely on them, and they know that them sticking around to help me out is beneficial to them as well.
Yeah, that it's a project worth working on.
Yeah, and that's why I've been like really determined to make Cloud of Cats as good as possible. I'm putting way more effort and energy into writing the scripts in a way where not only do you know what to say, but you know exactly how to say it and how the characters are feeling when they're saying it.
Gotcha. So not only do you have the lines, but you have like the emotion behind it.
Yeah, like if you were able to like look at the scripts for like the first episode or like any of the episodes I've written for Cloud of Cats, and then you look at one of my original like a season 3 script for mini animation, it looks a lot different, and it's just even like all of my scripts have like the lines, but like in the middle of the lines, what's going on and like where they're at. Even those in between lines have more like detail and expression in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I want like people who one of the things I told the people who were doing the cats for this series, when I got them, I was like, I want you to take this character, like take what's in the script, but then at the same time make it your own.
Okay, sort of put your own spin on it.
Yeah, because like if this is gonna be something you're gonna be doing for a while, I want you to have fun with it, and I want you to like do it in a way where you can kind of like come back and jump right back in a way where you're like, yeah, I know this character, I can do it.
Gotcha.
And of course, with any series that I do as many of the male voices as possible.
I'll forever be grateful that I got to play Mr. Teacher Guy.
Oh yeah, it was very fun to have everyone I've had on there. It was very fun. It was very fun to have you on there, especially with Nick. That was one of the characters where like I remember like hearing you. I was watching an interview. I can't remember who I was watching, but I was watching one of your interviews, and I was like, wait, this guy would be like, this is the exact voice I was looking forward when it comes to this kind of character. So it was really cool to have you able to actually do that for me, and it was I've always like very appreciative of people who help me out.
Thank you, man. Like like, and that said, like for future projects, like I'm always down.
Oh yeah, I was actually debating. I guess this is a spoiler, a minor spoiler, but I was debating having a flashback with Nick in the final season of Drugs, Crimes, and Other Stuff, and it doesn't happen. I was trying to fit everything that needed to be done in the 13 episode span, and there was nowhere for a Nick flashback. But I was actually like debating if I should do it or not.
Now that's all good. Not to worry.
But his legacy does actually live on in the final season in some small ways.
Nice. I say, hey man, if you need if you need a Mr. Teacher Guy cat for Cloud of Cats, there you go.
I don't know. It's been mostly the same characters so far. But if I come up with a cat and I know you'd fit it, I'm definitely gonna be asking.
Awesome. I
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, dude. So this last year, I'm not sure. I think I've spoken with you about it, but like early last year, I was living in a place that had just no internet. I was in the middle of nowhere, and so that's why Demasked kind of disappeared for like a year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have internet at my house. Trying to like get stuff done, I have to go to my aunt's house a lot. That's actually where I'm at right now. I don't have internet at my house at all. So if I had to do anything like this, I have to go somewhere else.
Gotcha. But I've been trying to find time to like dip my toe back into doing this again.
Oh, yeah, it's just it's all a big balancing game.
I think like I think I need to buy like a planner, like an actual like paper planner, because I think that'd help me more.
Um, I'm trying to think. I was trying to think if I have any advice, but what I do is a lot different. Um, I kind of when I do stuff, I kind of have like a set plan for when I want to get things done, and I work hard to get it done by then. And if I have like time, if I do it like if I'm way ahead of a time, excuse me, if I'm way ahead of time, I can look at the schedule and see if I can do it sooner than later.
Okay. Say it's hard. At least for me, I have a hard time scheduling, but especially when it comes to like sort of looking for like work life balance.
Oh yeah, I mean it's also like I said, it's also way different for you because you're doing interviews. You have to get the schedule for the other person and yourself. For me, like I've sent some of the scripts out for drugs, crimes, and other stuff already, and they got like months before I need this line from them. So I'm just like, by the time a trailer comes out for a series, I'm usually at the point where like by the time by the time that season is actually halfway done airing, I'm already done with the animation parts of stuff. So it's a big difference between me and you. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of advice. It's just like a hard balancing game. Like even like just meeting people you know in your real life, like, hey, you want to go see a movie? No, I'm working tonight. Oh, okay.
Right? It and especially like so I've got another fun wrench to throw in there. It's when you make friends with somebody at work and then you want to hang out with them, but you have to work around when they're working on top of you when you're working.
Oh yeah, I've met a lot of really cool people at my work, and like I'm like friendly with everyone there, but like there's like a handful of people who are like, oh yeah, I'm like genuinely good friends with that person, but you know now you got to try to figure out are we both not working today? Oh no, or hey, you're working that day, I'm working this day, but today we're not working both days, but I got something to do. So I get that. I still try to like get like good days to hang out with them, but like it's really difficult.
Right? Even like planning around family, it's like, all right, hey, you guys doing anything for the holidays? And it's like, but I'm working that day.
Oh yeah, we have to plan things like a month or two in advance to and if we want to do anything, because my schedule is all over the place. One of my brothers mostly works nighttime. One of my brothers lives like 60 so miles away, and my mom lives like 2.5 miles. I mean 2.5 hours away from us, and it's like chaotic trying to get everyone to work. It's amazing when it actually does work out, but I tell them, hey, don't just come down here and expect me to be able to do it. If you want me to, if you want us to like for sure hang out and have time to do it, whatever we want, you need to let me know like a month in advance so I can request a day off.
Like, for the holidays, I was very lucky to be able to fly back home to go visit my siblings. Some of my siblings live back in my home state, and very thankfully, so I'm terrible at playing stuff, but my partner is amazing at it, and so it was. I go, okay, what's the plan? And I'm expecting like, oh, we're gonna go do dinner or something. It's like, nope, we're going here, 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 and here by this time, and then we're going to dinner. All right, sounds good.
All right, that's. I'm not terrible at planning. I just gotta know in advance that we're planning on doing something.
Yeah.
I'm also like if I do plan on something, like if my brothers are watching this, no, don't take this to heart. You do better. But I'll be like, we had like I remember we saw Deadpool and Wolverine last year, and we had the day we were going to watch it, and I was there like 5 or 10 minutes before like it was starting, and I was waiting for them outside, and they came up like 1 minute after it was supposed to start.
Oh.
So when we got in there, it was like 4 minutes into the movie already.
Man.
And that's just something that they've always kind of done. Like I said, if they are somehow watching this, you missed the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not my fault. LOL.
Your Honor, my client pleads whoopsie daisy.
Your Honor, my client is simply late.
Didn't show up in time for court.
But when has that been a crime?
Couple times actually.
A couple? Not in my law book.
So if I recall, there's specifically something called failure to appear.
He failed to appear today, but next time you schedule things, he'll be on time.
But what if he showed up tomorrow?
Your Honor, my client was simply late gaming in Fortnite Tilted Towers.
He was real tired. He slept in.
Have you played Fortnite, Your Honor? That game be keeping you up all night. You don't understand.
It's because he always on that damn phone.
It's like it's the Saul Goodman technique, just like manipulate the court into your own favor.
Just try to like appeal super hard. Jury, have you ever played Fortnite? Do you understand how stressful it is? Don't you see why my client is late?
Which among us has not flossed on the graves of our enemies?
Look, you need to understand he was grinding the battle pass. It had to be done.
What's funny is I don't even play Fortnite. I just like know like the basic lingos. So I just be throwing it out there like I'm a gamer, but I don't be playing Fortnite. I just be like going for like the little like all the keywords.
I fell. Are you a fan of Star Wars by chance?
I really like the original 3.
Same here. So, I fell into a trap. I normally don't play Fortnite, but the minute they're like, hey, you can play as a stormtrooper, I'm like, oh, great, now I have to play it.
It's been 6 years since I played Fortnite. I mean, it's a good game. I'm just like, I don't get a whole lot of time to play video games anymore, and so back when I had internet, I would be like very picky on which games I would play. And now that I don't have internet, I'm like, okay, I'll just play Elden Rings or Mario or something.
There you go. Well, wait. Like, it fell. So I fell into the same trap that I fell into when I played Overwatch back when that was, like, the original came out. And it was, hey, there's a costume I want. Time to play the game right up until I get the costume, and then I quit.
I never played Overwatch either. I'm so behind on all my games.
It's not worth it, man.
I just remember that one song. It was like some fan song. I'm already Tracer.
Yep.
That's all I know about. The only thing I know about Overwatch is that Tracer is a character that's very popular on certain websites.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't video games fun?
I have I have a couple of goals when it comes to video games that I want to do before I die. Sometime in the next 200 years. I want to beat all of the Halo games in Legendary difficulty. I want to beat all of the Souls games, which includes like Bloodborne and Elden Rings and Sekiro. And then I want to beat all of the mainline Mario games. So I don't really play a whole lot of video games, like I said. So I'm probably not going to be exploring a whole lot of new games for the rest of my life. I'm probably just going to be sticking to those.
I get you. So I've already started down that road of the Halo Legendary runs. And it
I got the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox, and I've beaten the Reach in the third one a long time ago, but I'm gonna try to beat him again for the Master Chief Collection. I beat the first Halo in Legendary, and then when I got to the second one, I realized kind of straight away that this was gonna be a different beast entirely, and I couldn't even get past the first level. So I was like, I'll come back to this later, and that's been 4 years ago.
I actually did. I half recommend watching it. I did a legendary run of Halo Reach, and I streamed the whole thing on YouTube. And it's essentially me getting crushed into the dirt for about 12 whole hours.
That's compared to the first one. I don't know which one's harder, but Halo Reach was really difficult, and especially the final level was really bad.
Yeah.
And like overall, the final level wasn't bad, but there was like 2 spots, and there's one spot in particular where there was like 3 or 4 elites, and they were like the strongest ones. You had to kill all 3 of them.
Is it where you're protecting the autocannon?
Yeah, it was right. It was like at the very end, right before you got to that giant gun. Like the part right before, there was like 3 or 4 elites that you had to kill, and I remember like spending like an hour on that one spot last time I played it.
An embarrassing anecdote of that stream that I did. So I did like one stream a day of just trying to get through it, and I want to say it was day 2. I was just, how do I word it? If you're gonna play something incredibly difficult, you have to be in the right headspace for it.
Oh yeah.
I was not.
Oh yeah.
So I was like the angriest I've been in a long time. And I'm usually not a very angry person.
Okay, Dark Souls taught me that lesson. Like there'll be days where I'll be playing Dark Souls and I'll be like, I'm getting frustrated, but like I'm still not like getting mad. And then I'll play Dark Souls on a bad day. Like I remember playing Dark Souls 3 and I was fighting the Dancer of the Boreal Valley.
Yep.
And I chucked my TV remote and broke it.
Oh.
And that's the only time I've ever gotten that close to being mad before. And I don't know what it was that day that made me do that, but at least I can say I've done it now.
I I very rarely rage. I guess would be the term. I very rarely rage at games, but I like. So I did the Halo Legendary runs like for most of the series with my brother. We did co-op, and the problem with that is some of those games are not built to be played co-op in Legendary. Like some of the timing for specific events doesn't allow for the other player to get through.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And I want to say it was Halo 4 where you're like driving a ship and you're trying to escape as everything's like collapsing in around you. And there is just not enough time for the second person to get through. And that was
I think I know what you're talking about.
I was like that was yeah, biblical anger is how I'd put it.
Definitely that time I chucked the remote was the most mad I've ever gotten in a video game. And I also like to clarify that when I fought the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, I was under-leveled. I fought her way too soon, way too early. I don't know if you ever played Dark Souls 3, but you can fight her way earlier than you. Like she's supposed to be like one of the later on ones, but you have an option to fight her like right after the second boss. And I was like 50 levels too low to fight her, and I still decided just to go forward and not give up, which was stupid. But Halo is, I don't think Halo's ever like gotten me like angry. The only other games that have gotten me like really mad was Geometry Dash, which was just because I played it for like 3 hours straight and refused to quit. Yeah. Which was just a bad idea for my mental state. And the only other game that's gotten me like really angry was Minecraft, which might sound like silly from an outsider's perspective, but until you know what it's like to lose 2 full stacks of diamonds, you don't understand. Oh, and full diamond armor, which happened to me once.
Oh no, I get that. Like me and my partner were trying to like regular survival mode, try to play Minecraft, and I was doing good. I was actually like finding, building armor, getting good items, figuring it all out because I barely understand Minecraft. And then I fell into lava after getting like a full suit of like metal armor. I'm just like, great, fun, awesome, great.
Yeah, what happened to me was I don't know if you know what, if you said you're not super great about. Do you know what the shulker boxes are?
I don't. What is that?
If you kill the shulkers in the end after killing the Ender Dragon, you can use their what they drop to make they're basically like chests that you can put stuff in, but when you break it, everything stays inside of it. It's different from the Ender chest. The Ender chest is like it's like your own personal safe chest. While this one is just a chest that everything stays in, and when you break it, that's why when I play Minecraft, I always try to beat the Ender Dragon as fast as possible so I can get those in the Elytra so I can fly around. And I had the Elytra on me, which is one of the hardest items to get in the game. And I had several shulker boxes, and they were all filled with like loot from like 7 hours of mining nonstop. And I had like over 2 stacks of diamonds. I had like a stack and a half of gems and emeralds. I had like almost an entire shulker box filled with iron, gold, and copper, like so much stuff. And it was like I said, it was like 7 or 8 hours of just nonstop mining, and that's what was in those shulker boxes. And there was like 5 of them completely filled. As I was in a mine shaft getting loot out of one of the chests in there, a creeper walked up to me and blew me up. He didn't blow me up, but he like launched me off the cliff, and I landed into a lava thing. And only 2 of those 3 shulker boxes. 2 of those 5 shulker boxes survived. The other 3 completely died and went into the lava, as well as my armor.
That sucks.
That was the worst loss I've still to this day I've ever had in Minecraft, and nothing's ever come close because I'm at this point now where I kind of just don't really die that much in Minecraft. But that one time, got me like angry.
I had so me and a couple buddies of mine had started a server, and so I had made my own house, and then I made my cats, like I spawned in cats that happen to look like mine, and even like put name tags on them and whatnot. And apparently at some point somebody got into the server that wasn't supposed to be there while we weren't there, and destroyed everything top to bottom.
I don't think it was me, but
No.
that sounds like something I did to someone once.
No, it was a little far. It wasn't like regular griefing, like, oh, I blew up your house. It was, they left notes, like the post signs.
Like you talking about like the wooden signs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were leaving signs with like horrible racist things on them.
Oh no. Okay, that wasn't me.
But it just, like, we came back and like my house is gone. It's a crater, and my cats are gone. And but thankfully, the guy who owns the server had like backups. Like, he made a backup every time we quit out the game, and so he just set it back one instance, and so everything came back.
Dude, that's like the oh thank God I did that actually moment.
Yeah, like
But yeah, that definitely wasn't me though. That did all this stuff.
Oh no, no, I'm not putting the blame on you.
What I did, and I don't remember when this was. I was probably like 14 or 15. This was like one of the only times I got online with someone. I joined some kid's server, and this is something I would never do now, because I'm not here to ruin people's fun. But what I did was I took a flint and steel and I went to this kid's house and I set it on fire.
Like, did it do the fire spread thing and just like?
Yeah, I just took the flint and steel and I just put it in multiple spots on his house. And he was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he kicked me out. Which is something I would never do that now, but no, it's still kind of funny to think about. I hope I didn't ruin too much progress.
Turns out he spent years on that house.
It wasn't a huge house. He probably spent like a week on it, but which is still like, I would never do that now, but it's still funny to think about.
It kills me that like Minecraft is one of those short list of games where if something goes wrong, you've lost real time.
Oh yeah, I can't remember exactly. I remember like one time I had a really small house and a creeper walked into it, blew it up. I was like, I spent like 1 week on that. That was when I first started playing Minecraft.
Dude, I need to get back into that game. I've been getting the itch to go back.
I'm still on a hiatus for it right now. I think I've been on like a break for like a year and a half now, and I'm gonna give it a few more years because I really want there to be a lot more new stuff when I finally get back to it. But I'm still keeping up with all the updates. They're adding some pretty cool stuff. They're getting like new cow variants, new pig variants,
Nice.
like new little flowers and stuff like that. They just added like 9 new wolf types.
Okay.
So they're still at it, and I've always told people this. Minecraft is like a top tier game for me still. But like I've told people this joke all the time, even though it's not really a joke, it's actually true. Minecraft's is the only game that they could announce mud is coming to it, and I get excited.
What was that one announcement where it was like, was it the cave update? I think it was.
I still remember watching that. I watched Minecraft Live that year, and I got like goosebumps when they announced it because for years at that point. Not only me, but like most people in the community, were that was the big update that everyone was asking for. So when they finally announced, I was like, oh, and that's also the same time they announced the. I think that was the same year they announced the mud that was coming to the game. I could be wrong though.
So no joke, there was a genuine mud update.
Yeah, I mean, it was when they added the mangrove forest to it, and there was just mud. Which gamers, if you're listening, you can use mud to make renewable clay,
Okay.
which is like the cool thing about it. But I just remember being like, "Oh, mud, cool." I was I was wondering when they would do this.
That's,
Now that sorry, go ahead.
I'd say that's fascinating.
It's the dripstone, the like stalagmite or stalactite, whichever one points downward. If you take one of those and put it on, and you take the stalactite and you put it on the actual stalactite block, and then you put a clay block a mud block on top of that, over time it'll drain like the water out of it or something and turn it into a clay block.
Huh. Okay.
Dude, I am very knowledgeable of Minecraft. When I play that game, I'm playing it like I'm like super like resourceful when it comes to it.
Huh.
Like, you could honest to God come up to me and I could just sit you down and like give you a class on what to do in Minecraft.
I feel like I'm so far behind.
I say beat the Ender Dragon as fast as possible and try your best to find some in cities. That's something you should do as soon as you can.
Okay.
Because I try to get a fortune-free pickaxe as soon as possible and put a mending enchantment on it. That way, anytime I go mining, I'm getting as much stuff as possible. So that's my big advice.
I need to catch up. I feel so out of practice.
Now that they've added the caves update back in like 2020, it's been so long. But now that they've done that, everyone's like, "Where's the end update?"
I'm probably gonna reinstall Minecraft after this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm still gonna give it a while. I definitely experienced burned out, but Minecraft's just gonna be one of those games until I'm like I might be in my 60s still playing Minecraft. I just take breaks from it every now and then, but like I'm a creative person. I like creating stuff, and it's perfect for me.
I feel like I need to get the VR version of it.
I couldn't do it. I've screamed before when creepers snuck up on me, and if that happened when I was watching VR, it'd be worse.
You know what? Yeah, you're totally right. That'd be pants, poop, and terror right there.
Play Dark Souls with VR.
Oh God! Trying to parry.
I don't know, I couldn't. I know for a fact I couldn't do that. There's like moments when I'm like near the end of a boss fight, like a really hard boss fight, and like when they swing at me, and I'm like getting ready to dodge. As I'm dodging, I'm going yeah. I'm making noises like that because I'm like panic. I panic playing Dark Souls sometimes, which is like my biggest weakness. But I don't know. The brain's going to do what the brain's going to do.
Yeah, fine motor reflexes are fun.
But when I'm beating like the harder bosses, like I remember when I finally beat Sister Frayed, I put the remote down and my hands were shaking.
I had that happen with the Doom Eternal DLC.
And that's another one I've just never played. I'm so behind on the classics. There's too many of them.
Dude, I need to catch up. I need to catch up so bad. But
if I ever add another pile of games to that like checklist of games, like if I ever actually do all three of those things I told you earlier, one franchise I would really like to give it a shot, even though I'm not that big of a fan of it, are the Sonic games, because the Sonic franchise intrigues me so much.
no, I get you.
I have a very mixed experience with the Sonic games. I've only played 2 of them. If you don't count the original, which I don't even really like the original that much, it just frustrates me. Like, okay, I go fast, but now I get punished for going fast. Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've played Sonic Colors, which I really liked, and then I played Sonic 06, which to this day might be the most broken game I've ever played.
Dude, Sonic 06 is a mess from top to bottom.
I have memories of it though, and it's stuck with me. But I would like to play it again one day just to see how bad it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, and fun fact that I don't know if I've told people I know in real life who have like seen some of my stuff. I don't know if I've actually publicly said this yet. But do you remember my Cool Blue character?
I believe so, yeah.
His voice that I gave him was based off of my joke impression of Sonic. And I feel like now that you know that, it's going to be like, oh, it's so obvious.
Now you can't unhear it.
I actually haven't like properly done it in a while. That's one of those voices where when I do it, I have to like prepare myself before the recording session. I'm sitting here like making just random noises until I finally get the voice right, and then once I do, I hit record. But like, what's going on, guys? It's Cool Blue. That's it's been like a year since I did it, so don't judge me if that's not perfect. But that was my like that was like a joke Sonic impression that I made, and when I made Cool Blue, I just used it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So. Anyway, if anyone watches this and then go back and watch any of my old mini animation episodes, you're gonna be like, I hear it, and now I can't unhear it.
Now with that, Mr. Animator, I think we'll call the interview here. I'm very hungry.
Oh no, I won't keep you waiting any longer then.
But now, so question. I know you've recently changed to have your actual name on, Twitter and whatnot. Are you okay with me doing that?
What was the question again?
So you changed your name on Twitter and Discord, and I know you said your own name earlier, and I'm wondering if that's okay for me to do as well.
Oh yeah, I've put my name on my channel before, and in all the credits you can see my full name. It's public information at this point.
Gotcha.
And I will be changing my YouTube channel name soonish too. I just don't know exactly when.
Sure. But Garrett, thank you for coming on the show. This has been an absolute blast here having you back on here again. I know it's been a while.
Oh yeah, it's been fun. I've had a good time.
But I know I asked this last time, and I want to ask it this time. Is there a video on your channel that you are particularly proud of that you'd like to see in the description of this here video?
Oh yeah, and this time I think this time is even easier to pick one because it's my most recent project and the one I'm looking forward to the most. Anyone interested in seeing what I can make, I would ask you check out the first episode of Clatter of Cats. The full season should be out within 2 years. I know that's a long time, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Wink.
Fantastic. And party people at home, links to not only Garrett's channel, but that first episode of Clatter of Cats will be available in the description of this here video. Please go check him out. This is a fantastic animator. And also, Garrett, I double-checked the last time that we spoke was 3 years ago.
Has it really been so long?
Yes.
If time flies by so fast.
Right? But with that, party people at home, thank you for sticking around through the whole episode. I very much appreciate it. And thank you for joining us for the first episode of 2025. It feels weird saying that because I feel like we're in the future.
The future is now.
Yep. But with that, party people, this has been Demasked. My name is Fresman, and I'll see all of you next time.
Take care, everyone.